Last summer, a groundbreaking was held to begin construction on a new multi-use stadium that will become the home for the Chattanooga Lookouts baseball team. Drive by the site today or watch the webcam online, and the progress is plain to see in the South Broad District, where U.S. Pipe and Wheland Foundry were once open for business. On Friday, April 4th, the Lookouts play the Rocket City Trash Pandas in Alabama, and 4 days later, they kick off their 2025 season here in Chattanooga against the Birmingham Barons at their current home, AT&T Field. Rich Mozingo is president of the Lookouts. Rich, thanks for joining us.
I'm glad to be here today.
Give us an update on the stadium.
Man, we're rolling. It is moving right now. Steel's going up, which is exciting. You know, it's interesting. These happen in phases. The first phase is very, very slow, and you don't see a whole lot happening when they're doing all the excavation. And then this phase where everything will go super fast and we'll build this huge shell, and then it'll stop when we start doing stuff like plumbing and air conditioning and mechanicals and all that kind of stuff. But right now it's an exciting time. It's moving.
And for people who are driving by, what can they see at this point?
What you're seeing right now, the steel that's going up right this minute is actually going to be the suite level. So the whole entire third base building, it will include concessions on the first floor and then suites on the second and third floor up. And then, of course, on the first base side, you still see the pattern shop built in 1936, which is going to be part of what we're in every single day out there.
And that's just one example of how the stadium is leaning into the history, the guts of what stood there before.
Very much so. And it's wildly important to us, wildly important to the developers of the entire site, that we don't just give up on what's been there. This is a place that used to have 2,500 to 3,000 people every single day on that site. And those people are still in our neighborhood. I see those people all the time. And to knock everything down and to build again would be a much easier process, but not what anyone's interested in on this project. We want to make sure that we lean into the history in Chattanooga and the history down on that site and the great things that have happened here for decades.
And another aspect of this is the access for the community to come to the stadium.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to get there. Number one, if you get there and you do drive your car, there's 2,700 parking spots that are available on opening day. But if that's not your deal, we're working directly with CARTA to hopefully sign up some bus routes to come straight to the site. But there's also the Riverwalk, both directions. So there's plenty of places that you can go, get on your bike, or you just walk down to the ballpark. Really short walk for an evening stroll.
How do we stand on the costs? As this project came to the forefront, we had inflation rising. There was some back and forth about the financing. How are we doing on cost?
We are right where we were when this thing finally got accepted. So we're at $115 million. It's a public partnership with us, and we're right on the number right this minute. You know, Ray, things happen all the time, and we keep an eye on it every single day. But right now we're on time and on budget.
And when we say on time, we mean
April 2026, opening day of April 2026 will be in the new ballpark.
There's some recent legislation in Nashville about the ability to sell alcohol in the park. Talk more about that.
Well, what the legislation out there would give us the right to do is the same thing that every other sports model in the state of Tennessee has, whether it be the Titans or the Grizzlies or the Memphis Redbirds or the Nashville Sounds. It gives us the opportunity to sell spirits inside the ballpark. So we're not asking for anything that's different than anybody else, just to make the playing field level when we get this legislation passed.
Talk about the buzz that you're hearing so far, not only from fans, but also from the sports community.
It's been truly amazing. The amount of people who have come through that are in my industry, baseball people, that just want to see where we are and where the site is and what exactly is happening out there. And the community's just been amazing. The excitement for suites and for season tickets and that kind of stuff is really building out there.
And the stadium is primarily for the Lookouts, but the idea behind this project is it is available all year round for all kinds of things above and beyond whatever could have taken place at AT&T Field.
Absolutely. The number one tenant in there will be the Chattanooga Lookouts professional baseball team, but we will host a number of different events, whether it be wedding receptions or Rotary lunches or Kiwanis breakfast or kids coming out hitting in the batting cage, corporate meetings, all sorts of things. We plan on doing meetings year round.
Talk about the live stream of the construction.
It's fascinating. It's interesting. In my office, most of our salespeople have two screens, so you can keep track of what you're doing, and another one so you can look forward. And almost every screen in our ballpark right now has the live stream up so that people can watch construction. But if you go to southbroad.info, you click on the button on the top, and you can see exactly what's happening here live right this minute.
And as this project is writing the next chapter in the history of that area, the construction is still uncovering pieces of what came before.
It is. And we've been wildly fortunate. There was a lot of concerns down there about it being a brownfield and what we were going to find in the dirt. It was wildly successful excavation for us. There's very, very little bit of contaminated soil that had to go off site. But every now and again, they're just coming through little artifacts, little things, whether it be an old Coke bottle or something of the sort. It's always fun things out there.
And when the stadium does open, what will that look like for people here in Chattanooga? It's been a generation since we've had something like this happen.
I don't think people are going to understand how different it's going to be than the ballpark we're currently in. We're going to have a 360-degree walkway. We're going to have huge concession stands. We're going to have a number of different seating options. We're going to have a huge berm in left field that families can just go sit down and enjoy baseball on a blanket. So it's a really very different facility than anything that the people have had in Chattanooga as long as I've been here.
And how does it compare to other similar facilities around us?
I think you're going to see some similarities to some different things that people have done. Right here at UTC, they've done a great job of building onto McKenzie Arena. They've got a great meeting room out in front now, and that's a spectacular place that they can host and visit. We'll have over 40,000 square feet of meeting space, conditioned meeting space in this new ballpark. So you'll see some of those sorts of things. And then ballparks in the region with the 360-degree walkway around the ballpark and those sorts of things. I think you'll see some of those things that have happened in other places, but I think as a whole, you won't see another facility like this one.
In the meantime, we've got this season.
It's always this time of year where you've spent the winter preparing for a great new baseball season, and to get 2 weeks out, it's an exciting time for us. We're looking for a good baseball team on the field this year. We've got some really good prospects supposed to be coming through, so we've got some great promotions lined up for this year, so we're really looking forward to a fantastic season.
And for people who want to keep up on everything with the Chattanooga Lookouts, whether we're talking about this season or we're talking about the South Broad Stadium, anything else, where can they go online?
Lookouts.com is usually the best place. It's kind of our clearinghouse for everything, but Chat Lookouts on Twitter and Chat Lookouts on Instagram is a great way to follow as well.
All right, Rich, thanks so much.
Ray, I appreciate it. Thanks so much.